다 살아있냐?
Ever since I saw the trailer for this film and I saw who was in it, I was so excited to watch this. And now I have to say, I'm kind of excited to talk to you about it. I hope you enjoy this film as much as I did. But how much did I enjoy it? Is it better than Train to Busan? Don't know that I can compare it to that because it's not a zombie film. But it is post-apocalyptic and we've had so many of those. So what makes this different and worth watching? Let's talk about it. Amid total destruction, Nam-si and Ju-wan hunt for food and water whenever possible, while they struggle each day to survive together with others like Suna and others in Bus District. One day a group of volunteers appear offering clean water and food, persuading Suna and her grandmother to follow them. Nam-si and Ju-wan stumble upon the true identity of these volunteers and their leader, Dr. Yang Gi-soo, and rush toward them in rescue. So we have an actor here that I'm loving everything I see him in. Whether you like the film or not, him in it is often the thing that kind of goes, yep, I'm watching that. And Don Lee, I think, has been fantastic from Trains to Busan to The Eternals, whatever you thought of The Eternals, to the very big franchise that is in The Roundup. People love him. And so when I saw him attached to this project, I was like, yeah, count me in. A post-apocalyptic zombie-ish, not really zombie-ish, but like crazy scientists doing weird things to people, and an A to B, a post-apocalyptic adventure journey story. Yeah, and that's kind of what this film is. It doesn't really stray outside of that. It kind of knows exactly what it wants. It also doesn't take itself too seriously. There's levity in moments here that made me like barely laugh. There were moments in this because of what we were seeing on screen that the characters were so weird and quirky in ways that I just love, that they went from bone cracking to martial art fights that are so in your face. You get to see it, but like machetes, gun fights, fast moving, gory as you like more gory than I expected it to be in places, and then to go from that to a levity moments a couple of minutes later, not straight away. They kind of let you sit with the action and you know what the characters have gone through, but then our characters will move on to a quieter moment, and rather than just let it be a narrative or like dumping exposition of where the story is going to go next, they'll include some of that, but the story will be moving forward with some of the, let's say, outer characters, some of the people that live in the bus unit. And you'll see there's one particular woman, cracks me up how she acts, and I loved everything about her character. And then we have a sort of love triangle that is always evident. We have the younger sort of protege that is under Dong Lee's care. So the crazy scientist is played by Yang Gi-soo, and he plays, I mean, it's pretty much what it says on the tin. There isn't too much depth. There's a reason why he's doing the experiments he's doing, and you can sort of understand how he got there. But what he is doing, you're like, yeah, you're the bad guy. So he's absolutely playing the crazy scientist, and because of what he's done, the experiments he's having, the outcome of that makes the movie even more interesting. So even though it's post-apocalyptic, it's very sandy. The buildings are all like kind of broken except for a few where they're living in bus shelters and making do, a sort of Mad Max sort of worldscape. And then we have like a mutation sort of thing going on, which makes it much more interesting. So you take those two things, you thrust it together, and then you get this action extravagance storyline. Unlike the Hollywood type of action, where it could be cheesy and just not as fun. We've had them a dime a dozen, the sort of 90s, 2000 action set pieces. Here we have the Korean influence, where we make the action so much more interesting to watch, so much more grittier, but again with that comedy. And that only works if you have characters that you really like, that they've taken time to introduce you through actions rather than dumping exposition, which I think they've done well in here. So we have the sets, or the post-apocalyptic world that kind of sets you in the tone and the mood that you experience. We have the score and music that is right for that as well. We have the presence of characters that makes you care about them enough. And once I got to the end, I thought about to myself, like, what would I rate this? And I have to ask myself a number of questions. Would I watch this again? Yes. Would I watch it again straight away? Probably. I'll probably give it a month or so, but just a month, and I'd enjoy it just as much as watching it the first time. Definitely would watch it with people I haven't seen before to see their experiences of what they're going through. There was no sex or nudity as far as I can remember, but there was lots of violence and some minor language, I think, but mostly it's the gore that you're probably looking forward to, depending as like late teens that you'll want to watch this with, or depending on what you don't mind showing your kids. Just be aware that the violence in this is great and there is a ton of it. I'm going to give this 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
You got one.
I think it's probably sitting around 3.75, but because of my enjoyment of it and the actor, I'm probably a little biased. I'm just going to put that straight out there. Giving it a 4, I realize that makes this a really, really good film, and I don't think everybody's going to see it as that. It's definitely not as intense as, say, a film like Train to Busan. But I had so much enjoyment of this. This ticks all of my needs for escapism film. And it didn't take itself too seriously. And a lot of these films do take themselves very seriously. So because of that, I'm sticking with that 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5. Let me know your favorite post-apocalyptic film that did it right, that didn't try and stray too much and give us crazy untangent storylines and go all over the place, but literally just said it what it was in the box. I'm this, I'm going from A to B, and then survival, that sort of thing that works well, and also didn't take itself too seriously. I like this one for all of those reasons. Can't wait for you guys to check it out. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this film. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.